Good afternoon, ladies. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to Energy Shift. As always, I am Erin. I am your go to for all things health, wellness, mindset, hormones, body composition, energy, sleep, all the things. Today, we're going to talk about burnout because I will tell you, I have been kind of in a weird mind space myself lately. The current climate in general, and this isn't swaying any sort of way. I don't get political. This is more talking to the empath in me and the empath in you, the feeling people that we are, and how hard it can be to just kind of navigate life these days. Everybody's fighting with each other. There's so much ugliness. It can be so easy for us to fall into a really negative mindset space. And so I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that I've been using that are going to reduce overwhelm, reduce burnout, and reduce decision fatigue. So I actually looked up this statistic last night for our Biz Mom meeting. If you're not in that group and you own a business, you absolutely need to get in there. It's a great place for female entrepreneurs to get together, talk ideas, talk about where we're struggling, and hear what other people are doing. I love learning. That's something that as a part of my personal wellness, I have adopted a always student mindset, and it keeps me really, really grounded. I think that we decide at some point in adulthood that we don't need to learn anymore. We don't need to grow anymore. Or even we have this like wall that comes up when it comes to things we may not know about, which is wild to me, right? And I've done it too, but there's so many things that we'll just struggle with in silence. And I think it's pretty typical of women just to kind of try to get through it when you don't have to. We have all of these resources here. We have a ton of education, and that's one space, and then this space as well, and everything Katie does and everything all the other ladies do to bring you as much knowledge and community as possible. So anyway, I looked up the statistic last night and I had heard it before, but I wanted to double check. So the average person, adult person, is making up to 35,000 decisions and micro decisions a day. I know that seems crazy, right? But it's true. So what we might not consider a decision is like, and the alarm goes off in the morning. Do I hit snooze once or do I get up? Do I hit snooze a second time or do I get up? That it's your day starts with decisions. What shirt am I going to wear? What pants am I going to wear? What route am I going to take to work? What am I going to pack the kids for lunches? What am I going to fix for breakfast? Like, you can see how these things start to add up. And one of the best ways to reduce decision fatigue is to really capitalize on the big ones, the ones that you know are non-negotiables for your day. So eating, resting, movement, work, those kinds of things, picking the kids up, those, the things that are never going to go away, the things that we always have to do. And in my line of work, I help women with decision fatigue, overwhelm when it comes to their health and wellness goals. And part of that is making a plan for your nutrition. And I was saying this on the call last night, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. We have to consider a little bit more effort in order to make the rest of our week a lot smoother. So if you consider it in this capacity, having some food prepped or having your meals planned, maybe you're a meal planner and not a food prepper, that's okay. I kind of live in both territories. We do some meal prep, we do some meal planning. What that looks like for me is that we will bulk prep protein at the beginning of the week and bulk prep some sort of carbohydrate, healthy carbohydrate. So for us, it's usually ground turkey, chicken, and beef, usually like a carne asada, like a thin, lean steak that we'll cook on the grill. We do one of those huge packs of ground turkey with some taco seasoning. Super easy, just cook in a pan. Takes 4 or 5 minutes to get cooked from raw. And then we have a huge thing of turkey, a huge thing of chicken, and a huge thing of steak. With those, we can make all of our meals for the rest of the week. Breakfast, we usually have like eggs with some beef or turkey in it, side of fruit, veggies, that kind of thing. Lunch may be like a salad, chicken salad, something along those lines, something easy. And then dinner is it may rotate some of those pre-cooked meats in, or what we might do is like make a salmon fillet or cook some shrimp, or like when we do seafood, we are not going to pre-prep seafood. So we'll use that for our dinner meal when we have a little bit more time. We also rotate very similar meals throughout the week so that we don't have to think about it. So for me, it's like 5 or 6 different meals. We do usually have one meal out a week too. That's planned in. And if you start doing that as well, planning in your meal out, that way you have something to look forward to. You have something to fall back on. You know that on Friday night you guys are going to go out for family pizza or whatever the case may be. And so you can stick to the plan the rest of the week, as opposed to letting it kind of be a fallback plan or needing to emergency DoorDash or drive through, and then you kind of feel out of whack for the rest of the week. Now, this can be utilized in the same capacity for other things, like sleep. Similar sleep-wake times if you can. Getting outside first thing in the morning to get some vitamin D on your face and in your eyeballs. Really small things are going to help you navigate life better and reduce burnout, because these big decisions, and then we have all of these little micro decisions. Obviously, those are not going to go away, but they will be easier to process if you have the other big things handled in your day. We talked about this too. If you are a business owner, like scheduling your posts ahead of time or having some time blocking that you can get some work done, prep food, and then, answer emails, whatever that looks like for you, but intentionally putting time aside for these different parts in your day so you don't wake up and just feel super spastic about, like, I don't have anything prepared for the kids for lunch, so we're running out the door, we're starving, we didn't have breakfast, we grab and go. We can avoid a lot of those things by just small pre-planning ahead of time in order to reduce this overwhelm and this burnout. It could look like perhaps packing lunches the night before. That's something that I used to do when I was running restaurants. Is I would make my breakfast and lunch the night before, and you can do that with kids as well. Make sure their lunch is good to go. You're running out the door, you have to feed them breakfast, but the lunch is already handled. You don't have an extra step in the morning. What you might want to look at too is your most hectic part of the day. Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Or is it evening? And start to help yourself reduce that overwhelm, reduce that burnout in that one area. It doesn't have to be the whole picture, because that might feel overwhelming to you. I don't know how I'm going to plan 3 meals a day for a whole week. You don't have to. Plan one meal for the most busy time or the most hectic time in your schedule. Maybe that's dinner for you. Maybe dinner needs to be in a crock pot. Like maybe your afternoons are a little bit more flexible. You can go home or go down to the kitchen if you work from home, get a crock pot meal ready. I have a crock pot guide that's high protein and kid friendly. If you want it, it's free. I'll absolutely send it to you. Get the crock pot ready. 5-6 hours, dinner hits, it's ready to go. You don't have to do anything. You feed, you take the kids to sports practice, whatever you want to do, avoiding the burnout, avoiding that frazzled feeling where you're snappy and you're tired and you're stressed and you're overwhelmed. It's going to move mountains for you. It's going to be such a game changer. I'll tell you, like, my days are usually really busy. I take client calls. I am on these live trainings. I am checking in with clients. I'm marketing for my business. And so I usually do a majority of my work between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. At 1, I have lunch, and I need it to be relatively quickly because relatively quick because then I want to go to the gym at 2. So then I have the rest of the afternoon free to work or to manage the household, whatever it is I need to do. I try to do like, I have a rule of 3 that I try to do every day. Something for myself, some self-care, something for my house, and something for the family or my spouse, whatever the case may be. So there's 3 things. I always do something for my business. That kind of, for me, it is a non-negotiable, obviously, and it seems easier to prioritize the business over prioritizing my health or prioritizing my husband or even prioritizing getting the house cleaned up, that kind of thing. And that might be as small as just making the bed every single day. It could elaborate to, wiping down the countertops in the kitchen, sweeping the floors, mopping the floors, vacuuming, that kind of thing. It's something small, but I try to do something every day so that I don't feel super overwhelmed. That's the other thing too, is if you let it pile up till like one day at the end of the week, and then you're having to meal prep and you're having to run kids around and you're having to get the house clean and you're having to do the laundry. If you just let it be a small part of every day, even if one day all you do is throw a couple loads of laundry in and on the next day you fold them and put them away. It doesn't have to be hugely elaborate, but I think with decision fatigue, we self-sabotage and we put ourselves into a position of overwhelm later. And that's where we fall short on our goals or what we want to accomplish in our households. And that's where this burnout falls into place. So that's huge. Next, I want to chat about just what we are seeing and the kind of shift in negativity. It's not something that I even slightly resonate with. I want to be uplifting. I want to be inclusive. I want to empower women. Those are my core values. And I consider myself an empath, and it's really hard for me to see all of the fighting and all of the negativity. And I understand that there's passion behind a lot of what's going on. But at the end of the day, what I truly believe is that we're all very similar creatures. We might have different beliefs, we might have different morals, we might have different things we follow, but that's kind of what makes us cool. But at the end of the day, what we all want is connection, community, and our families to thrive. And we're doing what we think is best. And when we allow ourselves to remember that we're all human, that we all have a connection based need inside of us, I think we kind of can come back to a place where we feel more in tune with our bodies, we feel more in tune with our communities, and we feel more in tune with each other. So for me, that looks like getting to know people. That's why I've been having a lot of the ladies come on Energy Shift with me just so that I can connect with more women. One of my goals for this year and next year is more connection. I feel like we lost a lot of that in the pandemic when we were at home. We started doing a lot more stuff online. I work 100% online, and I am so grateful for this space and what Katie has given to our community, because it has allowed me both online connection with the ladies and outside, like human connection. We have a divorce support group for women with attorneys, different coaches, myself, Katie as a realtor. We have, like I said, the business support group. We have all of these podcasts. And if you want to come on, I would love to have you on. Hi, Sonia. Because I really want to connect. I really want to get to know women. I really want to hear your stories. And I know that helps me reduce my overwhelm and my burnout as well, especially because I do spend a majority of my day on Facebook. my primary business marketing comes from this platform, from Facebook. And so I don't have a choice whether or not to be on or off. I can take some small breaks, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I'm doing is writing more. And I started a new class I've been wanting to take so that I do have some intentional direction, because for me, I like to move forward with my business, with my own personal development, with my self growth. I don't really have any chill. I'm not very good at that. So I have to look at what drives burnout for me, which is an overwhelm of negativity in the space, and separate myself from that in a strategic way. So what that looks like for me is taking this new class and writing more outside of the social media space, not being constantly like needing to scroll. And I'll be honest with you, like a lot of it is work, but a lot of it also is just mindless scrolling, because it's hard not to when you get into social media and I'm doing some work and then you go down a rabbit hole. And I'm trying to avoid a lot of that. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by seeing, like social media used to be really fun. We just post pictures of our food and our kids and our dogs. And it was mostly just like a few people in our families and our close friends that we were friends with. There's such huge benefits with it, but there's also some downside. So if you're feeling it too, allow yourself to just take a break, even if it is part of your business, and give yourself something else to do, like a book or a podcast that will help move your business forward, or getting into these groups with like-minded people where the negativity stays in the main threads. That has been huge. I've been trying to stay in Mom Nation, and I've been trying to stay within my own communities just to talk about connection, to talk about human interaction, talk about health and wellness, and avoid the negativity. Because I really think that it's the most extreme of us that are screaming from the rooftops. The rest of us are really just wanting peaceful connection. We want our voices to be heard, of course, yes. But at the same time, I really do think that we all have so much more in common than social media is leading us to believe these days. And so like, I really wanted to talk about this today because I don't want you to feel alone if you are feeling overwhelmed in any capacity by it, because I absolutely, absolutely am. And those are the things that I'm doing. I've been doing extra walks outside. Now, caveat, I live in northern Arizona, so it's a little bit cooler. But if I just talked to my partner in crime, Melissa, who is on my team, and she lives in the Phoenix area. She says it's cooling down. So hopefully if you are there as well, you'll be able to get in more walks, family walks. My husband and I take the dogs out and walk for at least an hour every day. On the weekends, we've been going for longer walks in order to just be outside with nature, getting in that fresh air, getting in that vitamin D, reconnecting with each other, reconnecting with ourselves. I do bring my phone with me, but I leave it in my pocket, so it's just a way. Reading is another great way, even if it's an audiobook. Watching your comfort show. This is actually studied, okay? There's a study that says that watching your comfort show is one of the best things that you can do for overwhelm and anxiety. That, like, mine is like Friends or Schitt's Creek, those kinds of like comedy shows that you've watched over and over and over again. And the reason why that it's better, and it's like, especially if you're watching TV before you go to bed, is because you know what's going to happen. So your brain isn't firing like dopamine hits, or like your brain can relax and calm down just as it would if you were reading or journaling at night. I have tried to read at night. It's just, I like reading. It's just not my favorite activity. After I've been online all day, been reading all day, now I'm in school. So I like to watch TV. So being able to put on something that your brain doesn't really have to think about, you know what's going to happen next. There's no surprises. It just makes you feel calm and comforted. So like super easy things that you can do to allow yourself a bit more calm in your day. All right. That's what I have for you today. If you have any questions, if you want to chat burnout with me, if you want those crock pot recipes, feel free to connect with me. Send me a friend request and a message so that I know that you're coming from this group. I get a ton of friend requests all the time, and so if I don't accept it, it's not against you, it's just that I don't know. So send me a message so that I can make sure that I'm connecting with the right people. A lot of people are trying to sell business coaching or like all kinds of products that I have no interest in, and so that's why I kind of leave the friend requests alone unless it's somebody that I know and have connected with. And so again, the theme of this year and next year for me are connection, and that's going to be so huge for me. So please feel free to connect. I am looking always for more strong female friends and people we can have these conversations with, talk about tips and tricks for health, wellness, burnout, mindset, all of those things, because again, I'm always learning and I'm always wanting to bring more ideas into this space. And if you want to come on, please join me. I would love to have you to talk about your business or your journey, your story, your health and wellness. Let's plan it. Shoot me a message and we will get it scheduled. You all have a fantastic day. Get yourself some rest. Give yourself 5 minutes of calm today, and I will see you again next week.
Struggling to feel your best? When energy is low and nothing seems to work, it's time for a new approach. Here's someone who guides real people to real, lasting wellness. Meet Erin McDonald, certified master health coach, nutrition coach, and NASM personal trainer. Helping you create simple, lasting routines that support a healthier, more energized you. Feel better, move better, live better. Because health isn't just a goal, it's a lifestyle you deserve. Take the first step toward feeling your best. Your future self will thank you. Connect with Erin today.